Hey everyone, and welcome back to OntarioCryptids. Wow, what a gorgeous day we're having on this fine Saturday. As you know, I record on Saturdays and I schedule my episodes for Sunday. Today has been a bit of a whirlwind and I've been doing a ton of running around, and now I'm finally getting a chance to sit down and share today's encounter stories. I'm going to warn you right now, I have 3 stories to share with you and they're all from Montana, but they're going to be on the short side. So sorry folks, but I have a birthday party to go to in a couple of hours, so I don't have much time today. Let's get to them. As you know, I'm always looking for great stories to be shared on this channel. So if you have a story that you would like to share in a safe environment, then forward your encounter stories to OntarioCryptids@gmail.com. Now, go grab yourself a beverage and get cozy on the couch or chair and sit back and relax. This first encounter takes place in the summer of 2006, and we're going to Montana, as I stated before, for these stories, for all 3 of these stories. This first one takes place in Gallatin County. I hope I said that right. Gallatin County. And the closest town is Belgrade. I used to own a horse boarding facility which is located about 3/4 of a mile south of West Gallatin River and about 4 miles north of Belgrade, Montana, on the south side of I-90. One night at around 11 p.m., I was outside just before going to bed, and I heard what I thought was a very loud scream from a woman west of me towards the river. I was ready to get in my truck and investigate the screaming, but the screams were not human. All of the horses in my boarding pens were snorting and looking west towards the river. My Australian Shepherd dog was also acting very strange, growling, and his hair was standing up. A large number of white-tailed deer lived along the river and routinely came down to my place to feed on any hay left over on the ground. They were a real nuisance. I did not see or hear anything else, but I will never forget that sound and the way the horses were acting, similar to smelling a beer. Even the next morning, Butch, my dog, was continually looking towards the river and acting very weary. Okay, so the second story takes place on May 6th of 2015, and it takes place in Lewis and Clark County, Montana, and the nearest town is between Helena and Great Falls. The exact area did not want to be given away, and I truly understand, so I just arbitrarily picked a spot that was midway. This is not necessarily the location, but it's midway between the 2 towns. I'm a retired Special Forces, and I moved to the area a year ago in hopes of solitude. In the last year, I've identified numerous wildlife that are in the area all year round: elk, deer, antelope, geese, duck, fish, and black bear. I have lived in the area for a little over a year. I am extremely familiar with my property, and I'm not afraid to walk around at night when I am having a hard time sleeping. While driving up the dirt road I live on, I passed a road off to my right. As I passed by the road, I saw in the distance about a 1/4 mile away a figure. It looked to be all black and walking on 2 legs. I initially thought someone was walking down the road, but no person ever walks down my road. It is private property, and then it dawned on me. that they were not wearing all black clothes, but the head and hands were also black. The gait of the walk was different than anything I've ever seen. As well, it was almost like a saunter. After I passed the intersection, I stopped and backed up to get a better look, but it was gone. I had been keeping my eyes open for a moose cow which my son and I had seen that morning. It is very rare to see a moose this far south and central in the state. It had seemed to be very sickly or exhausted. I actually expected to find it dead somewhere. Then I saw this thing in the same location within a third of a mile and within an hour. Okay, so this is the last story of the day. This one takes place on June 19th of 2018. It takes place in Missoula County, again Montana, and the nearest town is Bonner. My family and I have been camping out on the edge of the Lolo National Forest Rattlesnake Wilderness for the past few weeks. During the past several nights, we have been having encounters with some sort of animal which we first thought was a bear. However, during the daylight hours, we have been finding many young trees literally being broken, which we have numerous pictures of. We were camping in an area which is 9 miles up a dirt road near the Sheep Mountain trailhead. Several of the broken trees that we have been finding are very close to our campsite, while others are up and down the road. There has not been any strong winds in this area for well over a week, but yet these trees are all broken several feet up from the ground, which, as anyone well knows, is not normal. We keep hearing something large and heavy walking through the bush, and rocks have been thrown at one of our tents. We are all very much in the belief that we are being visited by a Sasquatch. I also believe that you guys have had an encounter with a Sasquatch. And this story reminded me of the time I had taken 2 of my subscribers up to the location where I had my first encounter. And as we were walking the trail, I kept on pointing out all of the broken trees. And these trees would have been, I don't know, anywhere. Some of them were like 8 feet tall where the break occurred. Some were 9, some were 10. But they were kind of consistent. The height to a lot of them were very consistent. And so, when you look at a tree that's being broken that high up, and I would say that the circumference of the tree is probably, I don't know, some of them were 8 inches round, 10, they weren't twigs. They were, trees. They could have been thicker. I can't recall. I'd have to go and look at a picture. However, there were a lot of them along the trail. I'll see if I can actually find that video and have that video shown for the entirety of this video. But I'm not sure if I actually just snapped photos of the broken trees or if I took videotape of it. In any case, it really reminded me of that incident. And the other thing is they were so high up that it wouldn't be a person breaking it. It wouldn't be the wind or the weather because it's just one here and there. It's not many. So it's not the weather. It's not snow load, etc. In any case, this last story really reminded me of that. But guys, this is going to be it for today. I am sorry this is a short story. I hope to get back to a normal format next week. But they were all great stories, regardless of how long or short they were. And I hope you guys enjoyed them. So if these stories reminded you of an encounter that you may have had and would like to share, then please forward your encounter stories to OntarioCryptids@gmail.com. I would be honored to share your story on this channel. Also, I want to thank you all for listening until the end. I truly appreciate it. And please hit that like button on your way out and smash that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Have yourself a great weekend, and we're going to see you all next week.